We are now just 9 days away from a government shutdown and nowhere closer to a deal. Now, for those of you who follow my page, first, thank you for that. But you might be thinking, Lisa, didn't you just tell us like 2 days ago that the House and the Senate leadership had just agreed to a more than $1.5 trillion deal to avoid this shutdown? Yes, I said that. And the deal is real. But I also told you in that very same video, the far-right Republican House Freedom Caucus was pissed about it. They did not like this deal at all because it did not include the drastic budget cuts they wanted or the strict border policies they wanted. And today, about a dozen of them flexed their muscles. They voted down a simple procedural step that would have moved this deal forward. So where does that leave us? On January 19th, a large piece of the United States government will shut down. The rest of the government will shut down on February 2nd, unless Congress passes several funding bills, known as appropriations bills. Now, this is not a matter of passing one big, huge bill to avoid the shutdown. Before January 19th, Congress would need to pass 4 appropriations bills through both the House and the Senate. And then the remaining 8 appropriations bills would need to be passed before the rest of the government shuts down on February 2nd. At this point, they've passed 0 appropriation bills. 0 of them have been passed through the House and the Senate. And here's the thing. In the Senate, things just take longer. So one piece of legislation typically takes about a week to pass through the Senate. So you do the math. If there are 4 bills, that would technically take 4 weeks, and we have 9 days. So just yesterday, Senate Republicans said the House and the Senate need to pass another stopgap measure called a continuing resolution so they can kick the can down the road for a certain amount of time and give themselves more time to get these appropriation bills passed before the government shuts down. But Speaker Johnson isn't a fan of this plan, and these same conservative House Republicans are saying absolutely no way will they go for that again. And in case you're keeping track, yes, this is exactly the same series of events that led to former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy being kicked out of his job. A consensus of Republicans have not said that they want to kick Johnson out yet, but at least one conservative Republican said it's definitely a possibility. And generally, I can tell you the Republicans are not happy with Johnson, at least not right now. So who knows how this is going to be fixed in just 9 days. We are now.
It's the brother Azariah, back again with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops at the Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the brothers pushing this truth to the 4 corners of the earth in all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. To the sisters listening and learning in silence, to you I say Shalom, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash, Barakathum. So as you just saw in this opening clip, Lisa Remillard, the news girl, she talking about this potential upcoming government shutdown, which could happen in the next 9 days. Last year, I believe it was in November, they avoided another shutdown by passing a resolution bill, which basically is not solving the problem of the debt, of the deficit. Is pretty much just kicking the can down the road. And see, the problem with that is America is so severely in debt, they'll never be able to get out of it. They're $34 trillion plus in debt as we speak. So them just continuing to delay the inevitable, which is a government shutdown. They continue to kick this can down the road. They're not doing anything to actually solve the debt crisis that America is in. And see, the longer that you kick the can down the road, the problem just gets bigger. See, what America should do is pick the can up and throw that shit in the trash. That's what they should do. But America is prophesied to fall. America is prophesied to be destroyed. So of course, the leaders that are in charge over America, Babylon the Great, they not going to do that. And they're not really interested in doing that because they have an agenda that they want to bring forth, that this government shutdown will kind of work in their favor anyway. But everything is strategic. The government is at war with the American citizen. So when you're at war, you have to move strategically. Now, they can shut down the government anytime that they want to. But the reason why they've kept passing these resolutions is because they want to delay things so that they can set up certain measures so that when this government shutdown does occur, it's going to be more in the powers that be favor to seize control better. So what is a government shutdown? This is from Britannica. To date, the U.S. Congress has passed only one of the 12 annual appropriation bills through which the federal government would normally be funded through the 2023-24 fiscal year, which began on October 1st and ends on September 30th, 2024. On September 30th of this year, just hours before the end of the 22-23 fiscal year, Congress passed and President Joe Biden signed a stopgap measure called a continuing resolution, which extended funding of the federal government for 45 days or until mid-November. A government shutdown, which would have been required in the absence of funding legislation passed by Congress, was therefore avoided, but only temporarily. On November 15th, Congress passed another continuing resolution which extended funding for some government agencies until mid-January 2024, specifically January 19th, 2024. And as Lisa mentioned in the video, potentially if a portion of these bills are not signed by January 19th, there's the high likelihood of a complete and total government shutdown by February 2nd. Given until mid-January 2024, and for others until early February 2nd to be exact. Given the deep divisions between Republicans and Democrats in Congress and between far-right and relatively moderate Republicans in the House of Representatives, it seems likely that the country will again come close to a government shutdown in January, and many observers believe that at least a partial shutdown is inevitable. So in other words, a partial shutdown is pretty much guaranteed to happen, because right now we see what's going on between the Republicans and the Democrats. The government is divided. Right now, as it is written, you have the Egyptian against the Egyptian. They can't agree. And that's a big sign to know when an empire, when a kingdom is falling and is on its last legs, when the leaders become chaotic. They can't agree. They can't come together. They can't do things that would otherwise be in the benefit of the government and the people. They completely through, which is what we can clearly see. What is a government shutdown? A government shutdown, as the term is most commonly used in the United States, is a forced cessation of most non-essential operations and services, i.e., those that are not deemed necessary to protect national security, public health, public safety, or property. And that entails what? That entails a lot of job loss. That entails a lot of government subsidies being cut off. Section 8, SNAP, otherwise known as food stamps, WIC, certain programs that help people stay on their feet, unemployment, disability. See, things that are not essential to the running of the government, that the government gives out money for, in the instance of a government shutdown, all these things will be cut off. And they're pretty much saying that this is inevitable because they've been kicking the can down the road for too long. All right. Performed by a range of federal departments and agencies due to lack of funding. The lack of funding itself results from the failure of Congress to pass or from the refusal of the president to sign one or more of the annual appropriation bills normally enacted by the start of each fiscal year on October 1st. You see that? So these politicians, they can't agree. And they talking about it, and we can go here, because she did mention it in the video as well. Some House Republicans willing to force government shutdown after Eagle Pass border visit. Let's get into this. Following a visit to the southern border last week, some House Republicans urged their colleagues to treat the situation at the border as a major national security risk and to be willing to force a government shutdown to get Democrats and the Biden administration to accept stricter immigration policies and border security measures. Now, we know this is all BS, because they're allowing this to happen. They've been allowing this to happen. If the Biden administration did not want these migrants coming over the border in such mass numbers, they would have been shut it down a long time ago. But it's still continuing to go on because this is a means to an end. They allowing this to go on because purge election year. If you know, you know. See, what's happening right now is things are being set up. The elites, they setting up the American people for the ultimate takeover. And the crazy part about it is these Americans, these Babylonians, are so bogged down with so much bullshit and so much distraction that's being pumped in their face 24/7. They can't even see that it's happening right in front of their face. Now, yeah, you do have a lot of mainly Edomites that see what's going on with the border, that see the certain egregious, unrighteous decrees that are being put into place in law. They see these things as a direct threat against the American people, which it is. But again, how many of the American people actually care enough to do something about it? The only reason why it hasn't been mass protests in the streets as of yet is because people still comfortable. Things right now seem normal. You can still go to the storehouses, the markets. You can buy your food. You can have a leisurely weekend, drink some beer, drink some wine. You can still travel as of this moment. But what do it say in 1 Thessalonians 5:3? It says sudden destruction. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child. So these people are so comfortable, they can't even see that destruction is being set up right in front of their face. And it's going to happen all of a sudden. It's going to happen all of a sudden. You think everything good right now, you could wake up tomorrow and all hell breaking loose. Look at what happened with the Israel-Hamas thing. One day it was normal. October 6th, it was normal. Stuff was going on. But October 7th, you woke up in the early hours of the morning and you hear that Hamas bombed Israel. And since then, the flip been script, the script has been flipped. Salakia. So things can change at any moment. Just because things look sweet right now, don't mean it's always going to be like that. But these Babylonians, because they so damn stupid, they can't even understand that. But these politicians, they understand what's going on. Reading on. Around 60 House Republicans visited the West Texas border town of Eagle Pass last week. And they say Eagle Pass is the main spot where these migrants is coming in heavy. They coming in thick at Eagle Pass. I think the highest number of migrants that was recorded coming through Eagle Pass in one day was 200,000. Mind you, they don't know who coming in here. They ain't got no IDs. They ain't got no nothing. They just coming over. Now, of course, we know that a lot of Gurga troops is coming over, UN troops, Chinese military age men, Iranians, enemies of America are being let in. And the U.S. government knows about this. So you got to speculate to a degree or all out that America is in cahoots with these other nations, man. Look, this is all to forward the agenda of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. See, Esau got his agenda and the Lord got his agenda. But at the end of the day, the Lord's agenda reigns supreme. Esau just being used as a pawn to bring forth the Lord's agenda. That's all that's going on. So all this Eagle Pass and migrants and terror threats and all this stuff that they talking about is really all from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. Representative Matt Rosendale said that the trip marked his 4th visit to the U.S. southern border and that he agreed to go once again to see, quote, how bad the conditions had evolved over the last year. We have major problems. And I continue to say this is an imminent national security threat, he said. So because of this, they threatening to force a government shutdown because they just like, look, throwing their hands up like, hey, look, we got to do something about this border. So what do this go into? Order ab chaos. We let the migrants in. We open up the borders. We bust these people in. We fly these people in. We give these people free health insurance. We give these people access to transformer gender affirmative care, as they call it. We give these people food. We give these people clothing. We give them housing. And it's all government subsidized. Mind you, America is already in. Matter of fact, speaking about the American debt, let's just go here real quick, because this is the U.S. national debt clock. And you can see here the debt is going up by the second, by the millisecond, as a matter of fact. The U.S. national debt is at 34,024,684,000 and counting. All right. The average citizen in America is $101,276 in debt. You see this? This is the deficit. All right. 1,746,305. And it's still going up. You see? Look at this. The U.S. workforce now, 162,333. All right. People that's working. Officially unemployed, 6 million. The actual unemployed, 11 million. Full-time workers, 135 million. Part-time, 27,000. Not in the labor force, 99 million. So look, man, America is through. America is finished, man. This place can't be brought back. You see? Let me bring this scripture out. Let me go to Habakkuk 2 and 3, and I'll read down. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up in Salaki, let me read it over. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. It's talking about Esau, the so-called white man. You see? But gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. So yeah, this man's soul, the soul that is lifted up in Esau, Edom, is not right. Because he's doing things that is arbitrary, that is contrary to the flourishing of the nation of Babylon the Great. Now, of course, we know this is all biblical prophecy that this place got to fall. So all what's happening right now is leading to the fall of Babylon the Great. Yeah, we understand that. But the ruler that rules over Babylon the Great, which is Esau Edom, his spirit is not upright. See? Because now that he knows Revelation 12 and 12, the devil cometh unto you with great wrath, for he know that he had but a short time. Because he know he have a short time, he about to just tank everything. He about to be like, look, I'm about to destroy the earth. I'm about to pollute the earth even more. I'm going to destroy the people. I'm going to put grievous laws in place to vex them even more, to make them rise up against me so then I can put them down. I'm going to bring all these people over the border. I'm going to give them all this free stuff to increase the debt. Then I'm going to cause a government shutdown so that, matter of fact, I'm going to force a government shutdown so that I can speed up my quote unquote 2030 agenda, which is really the NWO, which is a satanic government that's going to be run on the earth. This is the vain imagination of the Edomite, starting with their elites. But yeah, all of this is being set up to tank Babylon the Great. This is the point in verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increase that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And that word for thick clay in the Hebrew is ibadiat. You see? So these, which goes into debt, all right, which when it says thick, that's really heavy debt. Ibadiat, you see? So Esau don't give a damn about America. Esau used America for as long as he could, but this is the end of the road. Now, this is why they keep kicking the can down the road when it comes to this debt. You can't pay off no $34 trillion debt, man. How? It's impossible. The only solution is to hard reset. The only solution is to bankrupt yourself. That's the only way that you're going to throw the can inside the trash. Otherwise, you're just going to keep kicking it until your damn foot fall off, man. Or you just get bored and just come up with something else. Yeah, you see? This is what Esau do. Yeah, so they saying major problems on the border. Rosendale reported preliminary estimates in the U.S. border personnel recorded about 302,000 encounters along the U.S. southern border in December, which would represent the busiest month on record for border officials. Yeah, but look, we ain't even really got to get into it like that, but just know that this border crisis is severe, and a lot of T attacks are about to come out of this. You just had a bombing that happened in Texas just the other day at a hotel. I don't think nobody died, but didn't the FBI and the DHS in December warn of heightened terror threats Salaki throughout the holiday season? Yeah, they did. So it's no wonder you've seen all these things pop off across America. And it's a lot of sleeper cells that's waiting on the green light. As a matter of fact, most of the migrants that's coming over the border that America is allowing in, they're being given cell phones. Well, now, why would they be given cell phones? I'll let your imagination run on that. But I'll just say, going into these sleeper cells, they would need to know when to get the order to go out and purge. They would need to know when to get the order to go out and do some wild shit. Okay, that's why they being given cell phones. I'm just saying. See? So hey, as we continue to tell you, Jakes, get your mind out of America. This place is done. It ain't nothing for you here. It ain't nothing for Esau here. Esau understands that his end is near. So what the hell is you Israelites doing, still trying to hold on to the American dream? You must be out your damn mind, still trying to hold on to this place, man. America done. This place is through. You see? Let's bring out Job 18:11. I'll start at 10. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. What is talking about? They're talking about Esau Edom. It's talking about the so-called white man. All right, his strength is going to be hunger bitten, but right now he's inducing these things because why? Terrors are making him afraid. Luke 21:25. There shall be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, and upon the earth, the stress of nations, men's hearts failing them for fear, after seeing those things which are coming on the earth. See, these are terrors unto Esau. What the Lord is doing as far as judgment in the earth, this is a terror unto Esau. This is why now he got to speed up the agenda. He talking about forcing a government shutdown. He's talking about implementing severe climate lockdown measures before May of 2024. I brought that article out a couple months ago. So bottom line, you need to understand Esau is afraid. Why you think these rich Edomites is going into the bunkers? They listen, man. These devils is going underground into these high-tech bunkers. Why? Because they know that some shit about to pop off. They know that something big is about to go down, man. And this is what we continue to tell you Israelites. But hey, man, look, really, we only out here to gather together the elect. All right, the rest of our people that want to live in La La Land, that want to love Esau, that want to love these other nations. Guess what? They're gonna be destroyed right with them, right here in America, if you don't repent. But yeah, his strength shall be hunger bitten. Right now, Esau's strength is failing. All right, this man is growing weak. His military is weak. His economy is weak. His leadership is weak. That's why they can't agree. You see? And destruction shall be ready at his side. Verse 13, it shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. And who is the king of terrors? The king of terrors is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is ultimately coming back to judge the mount of Esau and to take these devils down. This is the end of the Edomite and heathen rulership upon the planet Earth, and the beginning of the kingdom of Yasha'Allah. All right, the setting up of righteousness upon the planet Earth, where wickedness is going to be no more. Let's get this last scripture and we can close out, because you see all this kicking the can down the road and all this debt, this is this is in Babylon circling the drain and not being able to be healed. Jeremiah 51 and verse 9 in the KJV. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Okay, so these other nations, they see that America is, like I said, circling the drain. There is no hope here. There is no continuing city and rest in Babylon. A lot of these nations is already leaving America because they see that the crime is getting out of control. They see that the money is drying up. They see that America is losing its luster. So they like, now's the time to take what we can get now and go back home, because they rather be back in their own nations than here in America. Because look, it's about to get super bad here. This is why we gonna have, we gonna need deliverance from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. We're not gonna be able to save ourselves, man. The prophet Ezra, when he seen the vision of the last days, he said, woe was me. He said, destruction unto me. That's how bad that things was. He said, who shall deliver me in those days? So these people think it's bad now. They ain't seen nothing yet. If this government do shut down, but look, we know that it's going to happen eventually, whether it's January 19th or February 2nd, or whether it's March 2nd or June 15th, it don't matter. The American government is going to shut down at some point, and what's going to come from that? People going to lose their benefits. People going to lose their subsidies. People are going to mourn for the teats, man. Okay, because the American government, the people here, it's like they feeding on the breasts of the American government. And once they get weaned off of the breasts, they don't know how to survive. They don't have no hope outside of depending on the government, whether it be for work, whether it be for unemployment, different things. They don't have nothing else to fall back on. This is their stability. So once their stability is gone, they're going to be unstable. And that's going to lead to what? All out hell in these streets. When you read 2nd Ezra 15 and 16, it goes into it in depth. Friends fighting against one another like enemies. Seditions among men. Rising up against the government. The government coming down heavy on the people. Okay, men being sent overseas to fight and die in these wars. Women mourning, having no husbands. All these things encompass Jacob's trouble and the end times. This is the time that we in. Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. This place can't be healed. This place can't be healed, man. It's done. America is up. You see? So I'm going to go ahead and end this lesson here. Hopefully he's edifying through the Rakah Kadash and closing call halal. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect.